Hello and welcome to Monday Morning Messages from your guardian angel. I am your host, Ros Place, and this is for my boys. They chose this wonderful gift for me for my birthday, and I don't think that they thought that I would wear it, but I am wearing it. 1111, fantastic number, just love 1111, so I thought I'd put that on. And now that I've got it on, I can't take it off, obviously, because there'll be a serious situation with my hair should I do that now. But yeah, 1111, this is from my boys for my birthday, which was very, very kind of them. Welcome to Monday Morning Messages. In this episode, which is episode 50, we are half a century in this episode 50. I would love to talk with you about the power of the future you. I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, and it's something which has come up again through my work, and I really think in terms of like moving forwards with Monday Morning Messages, that one of the things that I get wonderful feedback from you guys about is things that are happening in my life that I can share with you to encourage you and inspire you, and to show you that as a human being we all go through challenges, and it's how we move through those challenges that makes so much difference to us in our lives. Yay, Maria says, oh, sweet boys, they're saying the hat looks so cute. Thank you. That's such a lovely thing to say. Yeah, and so it's how we go through these periods and these challenges of our life that I think is important. But something else which I think is really great is to share with you themes which come up through the work that I've done throughout the week. And one of those themes has been future self, and it's certainly something which is affecting me in my life. So we'll talk about that a little in a moment. If I may, thank you so much for all of your comments about last episode, which was all about getting unstuck and really taking steps which will help you to advance and to move forwards in your life. It was a great episode, and I really enjoyed sharing with you the kind of progression of from me crying in the kitchen on a Sunday afternoon to realizing that it really is about taking that next step. And I'm very pleased to say that everything is moving very smoothly for us now that we've taken that next step, and we will be moving in a couple of weeks' time. So this is the penultimate Monday morning message from here. Next week will be the last Monday morning message from this house, and then we'll be bringing you Monday morning messages from our new home, which will be very exciting to share with you. Also, I thought in our next Monday morning message, next Monday, as it coincides with the new moon, I thought it would be really great fun for us to write our wishing moon letters together. I thought that I'd create a special episode for you where I can talk you through how to write a really amazing moon manifesting letter. So please be sure to join me for that. That's 6 a.m. PST, 9 a.m. EST, and UK, that's 2 p.m. time. So that'll be next Monday the 16th, because we all love moon manifesting. It's a really powerful way of telling the universe what you want and getting clear yourself. So it's really fantastic to share that with you. Let's talk about the power of the future you. So I wonder if you have ever thought about your future self. I wonder if you've ever thought about some point in the future where you expect to be happy, or you expect to have achieved a certain thing. And there are lots of different reasons that I'd like to talk with you about this. One of the reasons is that we sometimes are really motivated in our lives, and sometimes really focused and really driven and really wanting to move forwards and get things done. And there are other times when those things aren't so easy to do. And I saw a great post that someone had put up. I think it was Amanda had put up on her Facebook page, which was about how sometimes we feel motivation, but for those other times when we don't feel motivation, it's necessary that we have some discipline. And I think that's true, because there are times when I feel just so excited about doing things. There are other times when I don't, and it's still important that I advance and that I move forwards. And it's important that you listen to when the right time to do something is. But getting over the hump of I don't feel particularly motivated today, for example, is something that will really help you to consistently move forwards. Because sometimes, just as you're about to reach the point where things are really going to shift for you and really going to change for you, you stop. And then it takes a long time to build up that momentum again. So thinking about your future self is something which I think is really powerful. I just want to give you a few examples about how your future self, how gifting your future self something absolutely incredible can be such a motivation, and how when you become that future self that receives that wonderful planning, that wonderful act that you today, that step that you today took, it's just the most amazing feeling. And there are a couple of occasions in my life that come to mind with regards to my future self. I remember after I had had our first son, Zed, I had lots of maternity clothes. And when you've just had a baby, well, when I've just had a baby, the last thing I'm thinking about is having another baby. It might be different for other ladies out there, but it certainly isn't different for me. And I took the time when my little one, when Zed was still a tiny baby, to collect and gather all of my maternity clothes as my shape began to slowly come back. And I washed them and I ironed them, which is quite a big thing for me because I don't iron hardly anything at all. In fact, my elder son Zed, he irons all of the shirts in the house, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And he's really good at it as well. But nevertheless, I washed and I ironed everything and I put it away. And I had no intention at that point of having another baby, but I knew that I would have another baby. And then a few years' time, I put it all in a plastic box and everything, and made sure it was all, watertight and kept so it'd be nice, kept clean, and all little bits that are associated with having a baby. Anyway, a few years later, in fact 5.5 years later, I opened up that box and I was like in tears about how much I appreciated my future, how I had given this to myself, how I'd been thinking about my future self. Because when I packed up the box, we were in a very different position to the position that we were in when I opened up the box. When I packed up the box, when I just had Zed, we were living a very comfortable life indeed. And when I opened them up, when I had Manny, we weren't. We'd just come back from travelling, and we were in a very different stage in our life. We were much more of a developing stage in our life. So I really appreciated what I'd done. And there have been another couple of occasions, I don't know about you, in the winter time, whether you pack away your garden furniture. And I love to pack away our garden furniture and to paint it. And I just want to say hello to everyone that's coming along and saying hi, and I'll come over to chat in a moment. Thank you so much for being here, it's wonderful. And I like to paint and varnish all of the wooden furniture and pack it away in the shed, so that when I go back there in the spring, it's just lovely to get out in the garden and it's all been taken care of. So there's a few situations, like practical situations, where I've appreciated where my future self has really appreciated the things that I've done. And I think about that in my work as well. I think about the steps that I take. For example, a lot of you might know me from creating my Udemy courses. I love my Udemy courses. They are incredible areas for me to really grow and develop my work. I've learned a lot through Udemy courses. I've met so many new people through Udemy courses. But that's a really good example of like giving something to my future self, because it is such an involved process. There is so much that goes into recording a course, writing a course, recording a course, entering all the information onto the Udemy screens, launching it. It's an incredibly involved process. And I really, particularly in the final, I would say the final 5 to 10%, I find it so hard to kind of just like just finish those final few details. And I'm doing it for my future self. I'm doing it so that when I wake up the next day, I've done it. I'm doing it because I know that I'll really appreciate it. So there's a few and I do lots of things in my work where I'm thinking about my future self. You know, I am so committed to what I'm doing, and I love what I'm doing so much. And there are times, even though I feel the way that I do about the work that I do, the amount of work that I look at sometimes that's to be done, that I want to grow, that I want to develop, all of which is sat out on my whiteboard. Sometimes it feels hard to kind of get going on that. And this week I've been working with a number of people lovely people, who are really wanting to take steps in their lives, really wanting to develop something that they really care about. So these women that I'm thinking of in particular, they're doing jobs, for example, at the moment, that they're doing and they've done for a long time, and they're grateful for, because they provide a real reliable income, but they really want to develop something more meaningful. They really want to start to do something that is more connected with what's in their heart, you know, more spiritually aligned, more purposeful work. And they're finding themselves becoming really immersed in their salaried position, so there's no time to develop things. And we talked, in one particular case, talked with a wonderful woman about, hey, look, let's look at the time that you have and claiming, even if it's an hour sounds like a long time, but if it's an hour a day, it's about getting yourself ready for that hour so that you can benefit from that hour, so that your future self is going to thank you, so that you're advancing, you're taking steps forward, you're making things happen for yourself. So that was something else which came up about future self and it being worth it and giving yourself the time. And something else, one final thing before I go over to chat, and I want to welcome everyone that's here. Oh, that's lovely. I've just seen Matthew hairdresser John David. He's just left a comment, and I'll come to the comments in a moment. Something else which is just so powerful about your future self is a process which I take people through when I train people on the Oracle Card Academy. I run something which is so close to my heart, and it's certified reader training. I train people how to interpret the meanings of all of their decks of Oracle cards, through understanding what the symbols mean, understanding what the colours mean. And I absolutely love and adore to do that. And if you'd like to look into what I'm doing at the Oracle Card Academy, on my birthday last week, which was the 4th of the 4th, and I was 44, I was looking forward to that day so much, I actually launched the website, and it's oraclecardacademy.com, and I just yesterday received confirmation that we now have a registered trademark in this country, which is absolutely incredible news, and I'm absolutely delighted about. So it's the oraclecardacademy.com, and you will see what it's all about there. But one of the things that I do in the training there with regards to future self is I take people through a process where they step into their successful spiritual business, they envision and they see what it is their future self is doing, what their future self looks like, and get wonderful insight and detail into the direction that they want to move in. But they also receive guidance, like advice, from their future self, and their future selves are always so encouraging. When the present day you meets the future you is so much wiser, so much more established, so much more relaxed, so much happier, and so encouraging. And the guidance and the messages that the future self gives to the present day you is so incredible and really stays with those individuals. And then there is a wonderful process of making an agreement with the future you. This is what I today promise to do. So, you have a future self, my lovely friend. I do, and you do. You've got a future self later on this afternoon. You've got a future self that you're going to meet in a few days' time, in a few years' time. And I think thinking about your future self and thinking about how appreciative they will be of what you're doing now, and thinking about how your future self has the opportunity to be able to really guide you and encourage you, is something which I really wanted to share with you today. And in the middle of my move and all of the other wonderful things which are happening, I'm thinking about my future self a lot. And how's this for a headbender before I go over to the comments? This bent my brain a little bit. As I was thinking about this today, we spend a lot of time complaining about how difficult it is to be present, don't we? It's like, oh, it's so difficult to be present. It's so difficult to focus on where I am now. But if we're not focusing on growing our future, then I wonder where all the energy goes to. Because a lot of times I know myself, I'm very interested in knowing what I can achieve now. I'm very interested about knowing what I can reach from where I am now. But the passage between where I am now and a more distant future is something that I've always found challenging. And some things for me are too far ahead. My husband Eddie has an ability to think into the future in a way, to a point that I kind of lose interest. It's like once we go past a certain point of talking about what will happen in the future, it's just too far. I can't go that far. I can go this far, and it's not an overwhelm thing. It's like I don't want to think about things that far in advance. I want to think about where I am now and probably where I can maybe envision or imagine or realistically expect to find myself in the future. So this Monday morning message from your guardian angel, and your guardian angel is going to be meeting you in the future with your future self. Your guardian angel never leaves your side. Is really think about gifting to your future self. Think about the choices that you make today and how they affect the future self. Think about what you put in your mouth, what you're eating, and how that affects your future self. Think about if you're sitting there watching the TV trying to avoid the world. And by the way, isn't it incredible how some TV programs can just totally suck you in, and you just go into another zone and you can just lose space and time and achieve absolutely nothing. All the times that you're doing that, think about your future self. Think about how amazing it will feel getting up tomorrow, knowing what you've done, what you've achieved. Think about the appreciation of your future self. Think about packing away those maternity clothes when you think, I'm probably not going to have another baby, even though I know I am. And why on earth would I want all these old maternity clothes? I was so appreciative of those old maternity clothes when Manny was born. So yeah, just think about your future self and see if you can just close your eyes just for a few moments and ask your future self for some advice. Ask your future self for a message. What do they want you to know? That's something which has been an extremely powerful part of training and helping people to achieve and accomplish their dreams. Let's have a little look at the comments here. So I want to say hello to Maria and Luna, sweet boys. They are sweet boys. They won't believe this. Maria, oh, thank you for saying lovely things about the hat. That's so kind. Mary, hi. She's saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Meg's here. Hello. Lovely to see you here, Meg. Meg is the angel activist. Meg has trained through the Oracle Card Academy. She's a certified reader. You'll see her graduate page if you go to the Oracle Card Academy. And she also has a YouTube channel. If you search Angel Activist, you'll find all about her. Kellyanne, hello. Good morning from New York. Yeah, I could do with one of those, couldn't I? I always thought I wanted one of those New York caps. Hello, Kellyanne. Hi, Roz. Hi, Meg. JCS Wood. Love the sessions. I can't work out the JCS word. You'll have to give me a clue on that one. Patricia says, rise and shine from Cali. Oh, that's nice. I do so love California. I love California. I can feel the sun and the warmth coming from you. Sally's saying good morning. Good morning to you. Erica, 1111, love it. I do too. Absolutely love it. John David's saying you're the best. Thank you so much. It's a lovely thing to say. You're doing great with your Udemy courses too. Absolutely fabulous. Good morning, Roz from Divine Love. Have a wonderful new week ahead. Thank you. You too. Theo, yay! I can see a Laboro there. Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. Sally, don't even have cable. Totally not interested in TV. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I totally was not interested in TV for a long time, and I don't watch it a lot. But sometimes I just put it on just to, I don't know, I do sit on the sofa sometimes and put the TV on. There are lots of things that I do really enjoy. I like historical documentaries. What else do I like watching? I like kind of doing programs. Great British Bake Off is something that I really love. I like watching funny things. But yeah, it is noticeable. And we've had no TV. For a long time we had no TV, absolutely nothing. So I hear you there. JD saying, Stratus is inspired by your accomplishments. I've learned a lot. Well, that is a very nice thing for you to say. Very, very nice thing for you to say. I appreciate that. And you've been so wonderful helping me, particularly with my social media. So I really appreciate that with my Twitter. You are fabulous. So let's ask the cards, shall we? Let's ask the Oracle cards for a message from the future you. How about that? Let's ask the future you to provide you with a message through your Oracle cards. It's normally our guardian angels which we connect with, but let's get a message from our future selves. This week I'm going to be working with the Denise Lynn cards, but they're slightly different. I'm going to work with the soul coaching cards. They are also very beautiful. So this is a message from the future you. A message that they want to give you today. What does your future you want you to know today? And if you've got your Oracle cards close by, then please do the same thing as me and let me know what you got. Let's have a look. A message from the future you. What do they want you to know? Aha. So that is about communication. That's a very interesting message. This card makes me laugh because it makes me think about reach out, which is something which I talk about quite a lot, and it's really funny because yeah, it's become quite a thing really, hasn't it, with reach out. But that does make me think about reaching out. The future me, I suppose it's about communication. It's about talking with the future me, and communicating and knowing that we might be in different places in time, but we are completely connected. And everything that I do today is something which the future me is going to pick up. And that can be wonderful things, or that can be things which are a little bit more based on instant gratification, or a little bit more based around only being able to do things that I can do now, rather than being patient and continuing to take the next steps. So that's a great card. Communicate, continue to communicate with my future self. That's something I'm going to do. Has anybody got any cards that they can put up on the chat here that they received? What were your messages from your future selves? I wonder if you've got your Oracle cards. I wonder if everyone's scampering around now looking for their Oracle cards. It would be great fun actually if we could do this, wouldn't it? To have a few moments where we could share Oracle cards. So I would really ask you this week, with your guardian angel, who's with you now and in the future, and was with you in the past too, to really think about what it is that you can do today, what it is that you can do this week, which your future self will really appreciate, which your future self will really be delighted to receive. And think about how incredible it is when you're motivated and the advancement that you can enjoy when you're in those phases. But also think about the discipline and the continued returning, which the universe seems to require from you in order to reward you with success. It's very interesting to me. True success is something which I believe, and through my experience, continued and consistent application and energy and returning and growth are required to develop. Hey, Patricia says, we try to be on a 5-year plan with our future. 5 years from now, I will be here. If we just look back 2 years, we really appreciate how far we've come. Today would be yesterday's future for you. Yeah, exactly. Theo says he got receiving from angels. That's wonderful. So I think that's about really working with a Labrador and knowing that the angels are helping you. They're fantastic cards. Guys, I appreciate you so much. It's such a lovely community, so supportive, so open, so sharing, so encouraging. And I look forward very much indeed to being with you in Monday morning messages for the new moon next Monday and for the final episode from this house, because we move the next day, and I wonder what the scene will be behind me. No, it will be calm. Everything else will just be, all the boxes will just be somewhere else. Have a wonderful week, and remember, you can do so much today which the future you will appreciate hugely. Bye for now.